สวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับสบายดีไหมทำยังไงบ้าง How is everybody doing? We are here at Pacamara once again. Pacamara coffee. I got my cappuccino here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the crackdown that's going on, the supposed crackdown. And I always love to see this. Listen, I see this all over the place about this crackdown. The crackdown. What crackdown? It's irritating to me. Okay. Oh, the Indians get visa free. A person should not be denied entry because of the country that issues their passport. Judge individuals, not governments. Oh my God. Yeah, you're a freaking genius. Now, I see other people saying, oh, they've been talking about this for 6 months and they're never going to do it. Yes, they are. They are going to do it. Many bona fide tourists want to winter in Thailand. Authorities know who causes the trouble and where it occurs. It's not just about trouble. What is winter in Thailand? Oh, so because it's cold in Norway, people should be allowed to come in and stay in Thailand for 4, 5, 6 months. Is that correct? I mean, I just don't understand it. You think you should be able to come here because it's cold in your country. I don't know. I just think that's kind of stupid. Oh God, here's another smart aleck remark. Trouble with 60 days is that certain people come here and run out of money by day 30 and end up sleeping on the beach and sharing one drink with 5 straws. Oh, I read in comments that 60 days policy is in place for years. No, it hasn't been in place for years. It's only been not even 2 years. Anyway, and it's not about the price. It's not about the money. There are different things at work here and different things at play. And I put up a video about this subject earlier today, 2 hours ago. And what I'll say is, this is the kind of thing that a lot of people feel the need to discuss. They want to debate this. There is no debate, first of all. Okay? There's absolutely no debate. If Thailand says this is the way that it is, this is the way that it is. That's how it goes. Their country, their rules. If it was my country and I was making the rules, bottom line is you either abide by it or hit the road. And this is the thing. People seem to think that because now I got another message here. The authorities really need to think before they make changes. Well, I got some news for you. And this is the thing that people don't realize. Most people don't stay for more than like 3 weeks, and the average stay is 9 or 10 days. A lot of people act like this is coming out of nowhere and something's changed overnight, but the truth is, it used to be 30 days. Okay? Let me see something. I need to double check on something. Let's see. Okay. So, it's only been 60 days for 2 years. And people come out like it's supposed to be more than this. It needs to be more than this. Oh, it should be more than this. Why isn't it more than this? Let's see. Oh, this was in 2024. It hasn't even been 2 years. They changed it to 60 days plus a 30-day extension. Prior to that, it was 30 days visa free and a 30-day extension. And I think before that, it was, let me think, I think it was, I thought it was, let me see. Okay, okay. It was 30 days plus 30 days. But if you came in over land, you would get a 15-day extension. They've changed that law. But let me just get back to this 30-day thing versus 60. But the thing is that it used to be very, very easy here. And Thailand has been closing loopholes for a number of years. It's been happening. They've been closing various loopholes. Loopholes you guys don't even know about, haven't even heard about. And most of the time, people don't care about them. But in some instances, like this one in particular, uh, people want to be able to come and go as they please. They used to be able to come here without a visa, and they could stay in the last couple of years for 90 days. And what they would do is they'd go out of the country, they'd renew it, and they'd be able to stay for 6 months. So that would give some Europeans, especially Scandinavians, plenty of time to stay. But this is where the problem begins, is that just because you think that doesn't mean that that's what really is going on. So what really happened is most people have built something around what is supposed to be temporary, and they're thinking it's permanent. Well, I can come and go to Thailand as long as I want and stay, and I won't have any problems because, it's only 6 months. Now, most tourists are not staying for 6 months. And, legally, you might be, for people who are staying here long term, we'll say, legally you are a non-immigrant. But if you've been here for, say, 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, then you're not a tourist and you're not really temporary. But in a lot of people's eyes, you're not an immigrant either. And so people get confused by the terminology, but just getting back to this whole people being able to stay. And when is it your right to stay in the country? Why do you have the right to stay in a particular country? First of all, if you're staying in a country and it's not yours, you don't have the right to stay there. It's just the way it is. Listen, if I want to go and stay in Syria and they don't want to give me a visa, I'm not getting in. If I want to go to the Bahamas and they say, you can't come in here, I'm not getting in. It's that simple. And that is where some of the problems begin. Let me read some of these comments here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I just filled out this arrival card. Not more convenient for me. Dark landing at the airport with little golf courses. Used to need to apply to consulate or embassy in your home country for 90 days. No, you used to be able to just come in without a visa. That's what you used to be able to do. And as far as filling out something on the plane, I didn't think that was a problem. I don't understand why they're making so many changes. Oh, we're making everything better. No, you're not making things better. They're not making things better. The banks, not the banks, there is one particular bank that has tended to make things a lot more difficult for people. For what reason? I don't get it. And, maybe this is something that the government is trying to do. They don't want people living here or coming here, staying for more than, say, a month or 2 months. And so they want to make it to where it's very difficult to stay here. Now, they're not going to get me out. The chances are they ain't going to get me out. That's not going to happen. But if it ever did, okay, big deal. I'll go somewhere else. I'll take my family. We'll go somewhere else. We're fine. Now, seeing that I just started the stream, my name is Scott, if you don't know what my name is, and I am an American who's been living here for more than 30 years, almost 32 years. It'll be 32 years in November. So that means I'll have lived here for, well, in December, I'll have lived here for half of my life, which to me is a long time. But I don't plan on going back to the United States. And if I have to leave here, could I? Yes. Do I want to? No, not really, because I'm just too lazy. I don't feel like moving. But we could. Anyway, I've been on YouTube for about 13 years, a little more than 13 years. And basically, I go over everything Thailand, everything Southeast Asia, everything expat. And if you like this content, do me a favor, hit the like button. It's free. And if you're not subscribed, please do me a favor and click subscribe. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers by maybe the end of the year. Hopefully I can do that. So, we'll see. But if you need a consultation, by all means, get in touch with me, an American in Bangkok at gmail.com. Okay, so let's just get into this. Temporary lives, and I mean truly temporary, do not become permanent simply because you want it to. You have to do various things. If you're here and you're here for, say, 4 months, and you decide, oh, well, now I live in Thailand 4 months out of the year. No, you really don't live 4 months out of the year in Thailand. You're staying under a temporary visa, which means you don't live there permanently. Now, I live as permanent as can be here. I mean, after 32 years, you can say, oh, yeah, he lives there. Okay. Now, if they don't want me to live here, then they have every right to do what they want and tell me, you can't live here, Mr. Mallon. You need to exit the country. You've been here too long, or whatever it is. Okay? But on paper, most people that come here, they don't even come close to truly living here. And I'll give you some numbers. But first, what happens, and I'll tell you what happened with me. The first trip, it's a vacation. You're like, oh, wow, this place is cool. I'm going to have a really good time. And you do. And you go back home and you're like, oh, this sucks. Then you come back again and you go, oh, yeah, I'm kind of getting the hang of things here. You're kind of learning about what's going on. And by the third trip, you start going to some of the same hangouts. You know, in my day, maybe it was Therme, it was the beer garden, there were various places. But, you know, by the fourth trip, you've got routines in place. I'm talking about over the course of, say, like a year. You have routines in place. You might be going to the coffee shop. Now, I didn't go to coffee shops a long time ago, but the coffee shop mentality and the whole, what's the word that I'm looking for? The atmosphere, the coffee shop, I don't know what it is, but anyway, it was not in place, say 20 years ago. But you might go to the same streets, you might go to the same clubs, you might go to the same bars, whatever. You go to the same gym, and you see the same people. Now, oh, I've got friends in Thailand. But you're not really living here. You think you're not a visitor. You think this is your life, this is part of your life, but really that feeling doesn't mean anything legally. And that's the disconnect. You're coming here and you are on a tourist visa. Guess what that means? You don't live here. Well, I don't think anybody's a global citizen. I mean, really. I don't know what kind of knucklehead says that. I'm a global citizen. I get a kick out of some guy who's been here for like 2 months and he goes, yeah, I live in Thailand. I moved here. Oh, really? You're 24 years old. I'm just wondering, what kind of visa are you here on? Oh, I just came in. I'm going to change my visa in the future. And that's where everything starts to go a little bit wrong, is when you come here and you think you're going to live here, you're planning on living here, you're going to. And it's very easy to fall into the comfort trap here, which is what a lot of people they just don't get it. They think because they come here and they're very comfortable that now they are they're living here. And I can tell you, on the second trip that I came to Thailand, I took a trip into the Golden Triangle. And I was in Chiang Mai. I had some girls, I was in Chiang Mai for like a month. I had some girls come over to my place, girls that I just met. Now, I would have to give them a little cash, or, most of them, I gave a little bit of cash. Almost all of them, like 80%, I gave a little cash. A couple of them, I didn't give anything. They didn't want, no, I don't want anything, We go eat food, or, whatever. And, that's how it was. Then I set up from there, and I went into Chiang Rai, and then I went and I took a long-tail boat along the river, and we got off on some part of the river, and then they took us by, I don't even know how we got there. We walked or something. Then we had to get on elephants, and we went into the forest. And we were there for a while, and then we got off the elephants, and we went into a little village. It was a very small village. It was like, the Karen tribe or something up there. And, they were sitting there with, do you want to buy some opium? And then when I came back from that trip, I thought, man, I really know Thailand. I'm getting it. I really know it here. And I thought, I'm going to go home and I'll be there for, a couple of weeks and I'm going to get an airline ticket to come back. And I'm going to start looking into moving. But I had no idea if I could do it. I didn't have any idea if I was going to move to Thailand or not. It was too early. I didn't have any clue. And this is the thing. Back then, nobody did research because the research, there wasn't much research to be done. If you wanted research, it had to be done with books. There was no internet that you could look on and you could find everything out. You could go into some chat group. You could talk to somebody. There was groups on Facebook or whatever. There was none of that. Nobody told me about that stuff. I had to figure everything else out myself. And I remember, and this is how stupid I was. I was a printer, and I had been a broker in the U.S., and that was how I was making my money. I had been a printer. I stopped printing, and I became a broker, and I was making good money. Really good money. But you had people calling you, and they're on your ass, and you tell them it'd be done on Friday, and on Tuesday they'd be like, "Can you have my order done for me tomorrow?" There's all kinds of things going on. So when I came to Thailand, I thought, I could be a printer, I could be a broker, I could do that from here. Now there was no real internet that everything was done really, really quickly, and you could scan a big file and everybody would get it. If that was more difficult. You couldn't just take a photo and then put that photo in your app and then send it to your buddy and you would have it within, a couple of seconds. Back then everything was fax, and it was difficult for me even coming here and being here for a couple of weeks or a month and then going back and being able to do business online, being able to do business on the phone. It was difficult. And so I didn't have the same options that you have now. And I thought to myself when I was here, I have to be able to figure this out. I have to be able to do it. And I went into a print shop on Aso. There used to be a PIP printing, PIP printing, PIP. That's what it was called, PIP printing. And I had worked at a PIP printing when I first moved to California. This guy Chuck gave me a job at PIP printing. He taught me how to print, and I got into it. I worked for him for like 5 years. That's how I learned to print. And I got into other printing presses and stuff like that. And then I became a broker. But anyway, I was going down Asok and I saw PIP printing. And so I went into the print shop. Nobody spoke English. And I went in there and I said, "Can I work on the printing? Can I come in here and can I get a job here?" And they just looked at me like, "No, nobody, out of your mind." I had no clue that was not available to me. Now, I don't think anybody would do that now. Although I have had some people that said, I'm a refrigerator repairman or I'm a plumber. I'll come over there and be a plumber and show those ties a thing or two. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. So, you have to think about these things, but it's easy to get comfortable here. That's the bottom line. It is easy to get comfortable here, but you can get comfortable, and I was very comfortable here back then. And I thought this was, wow, man, this is the most exciting place on the planet. But once I learned, hey, listen, buddy, you're not working here. Then it was a bit more stressful. It was a lot more stressful than back home where you could easily get a job if you just applied yourself. So people come here and they know, oh, I've got a holiday and, I can work from here. I'll work here for a couple of months and I can use my holiday pay and I'll just work online for 3 months and live here during the winter in Sweden or whatever. And that way it's nice and warm and, oh, I've got a great thing going on here. And this is what the Thais don't want. They don't want people like you coming here and staying for 3 months or 4 months. And you think, oh, well, they need the money. No, they don't need the money. What they need is money from people who come here for a couple of weeks and then they leave. They need high turnover. Because the average amount of time that someone stays is 9 or 10 days, even less than a week. Rarely do people stay for up to 3 weeks. And 30 days is, forget about it. You're talking about 90%, 95% of people do not stay 30 days. And all the people that are online complaining, well, maybe they're lying, maybe they're telling the truth, and, they've skated by. And that's the thing. Thailand is tightening up its ship. They don't want people going through this kind of thing where temporary is the permanent in Thailand. They don't want that. If you want to come here for 2 months, okay, you can finagle that. You can be here for a month, and they haven't even changed it yet. But you can be here for a month, and then you can extend it and stay for another month. That's 2 months. Most normal people don't have the option to go wherever they want, stay wherever they want, and work from abroad. Now, some people do. But a lot of people that do don't want to live somewhere else. And don't even really want to come for 3 months or 2 months. They're like, oh, well, listen, when I'm on my holiday, if I got to do some work, I'll do some work. Even my wife is like that. My wife can request to take a month off and work from anywhere. And she never takes it. Now, she sometimes goes somewhere for a week with us. We go somewhere, and she's working because she feels obligated. But she's not generally in another country. And if she was in the U.S., I can tell you, she might look at her phone to check her messages and send a message back, but that's about it. She's not doing what a lot of people are doing, which they wake up in the morning, oh, I'm going to sit by the pool and I'm going to work all day. It doesn't happen. So when the temporary setup becomes something that you think is permanent, that's when most people, they just stop questioning it. They think, oh, this is normal. But the Thai government doesn't think that it's normal. Now, we've got how many people here? Only 16 people. And there's not very many comments today. Now, why is that? I don't know. Maybe you can't hear me. Maybe you can't see me. I don't know. So the illusion, and that's what it is, an illusion, that people think that this is really how Thailand works. Well, I'm going to go there and I'll stay there for 4 months. It'll be easy. I'll just go to Cambodia for a couple of days, and then I'll come back and I'll stay for another 3 months. So you'll stay 3 months, then you'll leave for a couple of days, and you'll come back and stay for another 3 months. Now, I think it's in India where they say you're allowed to come for 6 months out of the year. But then the time starts, you can't come back for another 6 months from the last time that you left. You can only come basically one 6 month period per year. And this is the thing. You could just do a visa run. You could come back in a month or two. You could think they're not going to check, and over time, there's a couple of things that I had some misconceptions of, and I have a video coming up about it. I have a video coming up about Thailand versus Vietnam, and where is better to stay. if you want to live somewhere. And then I have another one about the post office. And I had some misconceptions about the post office. And this is the thing. After a while, your thoughts, they become your own reality. You think that this is real when the truth is that you don't challenge it anymore because you don't feel the need. You may think that it's guaranteed that something's going to be a certain way. Oh, don't worry, they'll let me back in, but they may not. And they've really cracked down. Oh, do you have the money? What money? I just go to the ATM and I pull out, the 800 baht, and then I pay, I pay with my credit card for the apartment. Well, really, if you're not able to sign a lease legally, then what are they allowing you to be able to do that for? You're supposed to be in a hotel. I mean, if you want to, there is one thing that I know that burns people up when they live in an apartment, like a true apartment. It burns them up when that apartment is being used as an Airbnb. That burns people up to no end. They get pissed. Because you got people in the lobby they've got their luggage sitting down there, and then there's other people coming in. And it's like, there's huge signs in the front that say, no Airbnb in this apartment, and yet they allow it to be done. Now, people think that Thailand is changing the rules in various different aspects of the country. And it's not really true. They've just changed their focus. They have not changed the rules. The rules are the same. But now it's more intense and they scrutinize things more and they pay more attention. People used to think, oh, nobody cares here. Well, maybe nobody did care back then, but now they have more manpower. They're making more money, whatever it is, but they have the ability to scrutinize everything. And when someone starts watching, then the patterns show up and people start to see. The Thai government starts to see the patterns. And they're the ones who start saying, look at this pattern. Why do we need people to stay for 90 days here? They think that I don't know if this is true or not. They think that the people who are staying longer term are the troublemakers. Now, that could be true. I don't know if it's true. I'm not the police. All I know is what they say. You can believe them or not believe them. It's like you can believe anybody. You got people staying long term. You got people coming in, leaving, coming in, leaving. Oh, I work two weeks and then I come back 2 weeks. Well, guess what? Maybe you need to get the correct visa where you can stay for a whole year. You get a multiple entry visa and you can come and go as many times as you want. And guess what? You don't have to show any money. When I come in, sometimes I don't have any cash, which now I'm going to have to change. I haven't left the country in a while, but now I have to bring cash. I just want to bring the cash to be safe. I'll have 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, whatever it is. Just in case they were to ask me, oh, you've got a retirement visa. Oh, well, you've got this visa. You've got that. Oh, show us the money. Okay, no problem. Here it is. That's what you're supposed to do. And I can tell you that I was in Japan, this is years ago. Somebody at the Japanese counter said, you can't get into the country. And I said, what do you mean I can't? I've got a 1-year visa. No, you can't go there. And I said, I think you need to look at it again. And so they they took like a half an hour to go and they walked it back into the back. I just was standing there waiting. And then they came back and they said, oh, sorry. That's what can happen. And then you think something is going on. Nothing's going on. Now they're actually applying the laws and the policies, and they're looking at things. Whereas in the past, they might have let things slide. So what I want to know is how many of you have come to Thailand more than once in a year. I know some of you probably have, but I think the majority probably have not. I know guys that used to come here all the time, and then they just, I kind of got bored with it. They would come 2-3 times a year. Some of them would come and, they'd be here in September, and then they would come back in like June. And now they don't come anymore. Because that's what happens with tourists. Tourists go to places and then they decide to go somewhere else, or they don't travel, or whatever it is. And then how many of you have actually stayed for more than a month? And how many of you have been living in Thailand on a tourist visa for years? That's what people used to do. People used to live here for years on end. But I'd like to know, what is your average stay here? Anybody? Is anybody going to talk to me here? Or am I just talking to myself? Just have an opportunity to have a little coffee. Well, you should have come in on time, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. We're talking about the crackdown on tourists. And my question was, if you come to Thailand, how many times do you come in a year, and how long have you stayed? It could be the Philippines. Have you come to the Philippines every other month? I mean, are you somebody who's working on an oil rig, and then, after 3 weeks you come back here, and then you leave again, then you come back here? Most people don't do that. Okay? But there are some people who they come more often than not. The majority, I think, they take 1 or 2 holidays a year, and that's what they get. Well, we can't worry about that now. There's nothing we can do about that right this minute. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everything else. Well, I mean, the thing is, you had to fill that paper out before when you were on the plane. You still have to fill the paper out. Big deal. You fill it out beforehand instead of while you're on the plane, which I didn't mind that. To me, that was no big deal. Well, I would not believe anything until you see it passed into law by the Royal Gazette. I would not believe anything. Oh, they're letting the Chinese stay for 60 days. Maybe, maybe not. And I don't tend to believe anything until I see it. Now, I do believe they are going to roll everything back. I do believe that's going to happen. But I don't know for who. And, this is the thing. The demographic has changed. And it's changing. I don't know what the demographic is. And you know what? A lot of what people say is conjecture. That's all it is. This guy, just make countries visa free if the other country also lets Thai citizens in visa free. Fair deal. With the e-visa system, it's not hard to apply for a visa anyway. also make insurance a mandatory requirement too when applying for a visa. They make tourists go to Vietnam, maybe even the Philippines. They probably have too many tourists. Well, that that is something to think about. Oh, do they have too many tourists? But the answer is no, they don't. They've had 40 million before, and now they're down, and they're not anywhere near 40 million. They want the tourists, and they can adjust their system, and they can make things different for people here, make things better for people here. Their infrastructure can be improved with money that the tourists are bringing in. But just to say that everybody's going to Vietnam or to the Philippines, listen, people go different places no matter what. It doesn't matter whether Thailand is fantastic or not. People still go to Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam 5 times. Now, do I really want to go back? Not really. I don't have the urge to, I've got to go back now. I went with my buddy the last time and my family. And that was the only time I've been with my entire family. But I don't need to go back. For what? I don't want to go back. Listen, I mean, I went to Ha Long Bay. What a mistake that was. Just a tourist area. That's all it was. I don't need to go there. Oh, the Chinese destroyed my dream place in Cambodia. Well, things happen, buddy. I mean, places are changed. And I understand. I'm not saying that they don't. I've been to many, many places. I mean, Koh Samet, when I went, the first time that I went 30-something years ago, I went with a chick. We had our own bungalow on the beach. There was almost nobody on the island. And it was 500 baht. It was a fantastic bungalow. We had a great time. And maybe I spent 10,000 baht the whole time that I was there. All right, here's some guy. I've gotten feedback from a few Thai friends, and they all prefer that visa-free cancel. Then there's one particular country that always gets mentioned. Not going to name it, but you probably know if you visited Thailand. Okay. They're not canceling visa-free. That's the thing. They're changing it. It was 93 countries? Now it's going to be 57 countries. 944. It was 60 days, but originally it was 30 days. So they made it 60 days for 2 years. And now people are complaining. Oh, you can't turn it back. Well, that's what they do. You want to complain about prices. Prices go up and they never come down. Complain about that. Many are retired and have the money and time to stay longer, but don't want the full retirement. If they have the money and the time, then they'll just get a retirement visa. You don't even have to give them, what is it? 3,900 baht for a multiple entry, something like that. That's all you pay. If you want a single entry, you pay 1,900 baht? And all that money sits in the bank. That's it. So they're not taking that money from you. That's your money. Oh, God. Now, this guy, he's trying to be a smart aleck. He says, you buy a bottle of beer, how many straws come with that? You book a hotel room, how many people stay in the room? How many nights can you sleep on the beach for free? How many times a year do you need to shower? I can tell you the majority of people that are staying in Thailand that are tourists, that's not what they do. I don't care if they're Indian or not. That's not what they do. And if you look at the specifics, most people don't stay more than 9 or 10 days. So even if they are staying for 9 or 10 days, And this guy, oh, cut all visa requirements and let people come and go as they please. Yeah, okay, that'll cure everything, buddy. Yeah, why don't they do that in the United States? Oh well, I think Biden used to do that, but I don't know. Thai rules change on the toss of a coin. No, they don't. They don't change on the toss of a coin. That's the thing. They've always been this way. Now, they may enforce some of the laws when they didn't enforce them in the past, but yeah, bottom line is money. People want money. Okay, so what? You fault them for that? Oh, no, you can't take our money. No, you can't do that. It's not right. Oh, God. What is this here? What about the TM30? What's the problem with the TM30? Because I got absolutely no problem with it. None. Well, you got to work that out with them, dude. I have no problems with mine, to be honest. On my third 10-day trip to Thailand this year, and I went to Laos from Nong Khai just for a few hours, and Libby told my friend I may not be able to get back in. I had to bribe 1,000 baht to immigration. Okay, well, so is everywhere else. Everywhere is about money. I hate to tell you this. You think the United States is not about money? Oh my God. You think Australia, with what is it, the $25 an hour minimum wage, is not about money? You think China isn't about money? Oh my God. Get with the program, dude. Yeah, the borders are. So, again, I've asked some questions like when did you start coming here regularly? And is Thailand a part of your life now? And do you have a proper visa? And what kind of changes have you noticed in immigration? Because I'll tell you what, I don't have any changes. I put the same money up, I do the same thing, I don't have any problems. None. Well, I don't get that. They track you with they can track you with the TDAC, but that doesn't mean you're telling the truth. They can track you with the TM30, but that doesn't mean you're telling the truth. Do you think that bad people can't put alternatives down? They can. But most people, that's the thing. Most people don't do that intentionally. They don't, oh, I'm going to trip up immigration. I'm going to try to do that. They don't throw you in jail. They make you pay a fee. Then they might throw you in jail after that, and they might deport you. It depends. They will deport you if you're caught. If you are caught overstaying, if you turn yourself in, you can pay a fine. If they catch you, you're going to get the boot. I don't remember exactly what it was, but when they changed it, when they changed the overstay, this is probably 10 years ago. They came to me, immigration came to me, and they said, and they called me, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, could we talk to you? We want to meet you." And they told me the hotel name and everything, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." And they were like, it's okay, we like you." And I was like, I thought, "Oh no, what are they gonna do? What's gonna happen?" And then I went and met them, and there was like seven or eight of them. There was like two women and five men, something like that. And then they told me, "Hey, these are the changes we want to make. We want you to put this out there." And I did. And people got pissed at me for releasing that. People on it was Thai Visa back, and people got pissed that I put that out on a video. And I was like, fuck you. I don't care if you're pissed at me or not. Be pissed off. Do whatever you want. Get emotional. Do whatever you want. I don't care. This is what they told me. If you don't like it, tough shit. What do you mean you don't fill out the TM30? You can fill out the TM30. I don't know why you're saying that. Dude, you need to come over here instead of just everything that you do is from over there. You're not here. I don't know why you don't say that. What, you don't think that a TM30 can be filled out by an individual? It can be. It doesn't have to be your landlord filling it out. It could be you. It depends. Now let me move forward, please. Let's get real because some people are angry about this. And they're not really angry about the whole visa thing. They're angry because it's making them change their situation. It's making them lose control of their situation. Because for a long time they've had control. Everything has been how they want it, and now it's not. Now it's not how they want it. Before they could decide when to come, how long to stay, how long they could make it work. Oh, does this work for me? Yes. Oh, okay, great. And now it's like, oh, well, you're only going to be able to stay up to 2 months. Oh, really? Well, this is the thing. It was an illusion. You're not a permanent resident here. You're not living here. You're staying here under the guise of a visa, but it's a tourist visa. And so now that supposed control has been slipping, and people are getting frustrated. And it's not logical frustration, it's emotional. And I love to hear this, well, I'm gonna go to Vietnam, I'm gonna go to Cambodia, I'm gonna go. Okay, maybe you will, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But when places start to get more popular, guess what? They will tighten down their rules. And if they don't become popular, it's because they're not that good. I mean, hey, it's the same thing. Here in Thailand, where can you go in Thailand that you have absolutely never heard about, or even maybe heard about through a friend or something like that? Most places people have heard about. I went to the coffee shop in Lakrabang a couple of weeks ago. Smell Dream Cafe, the place that I like to have the manual espresso maker and all that. The guy's talking to me. I didn't say anything. And he said, hey, have you ever been to Umpang? And I went, yeah, I've been there. I thought nobody'd been there. And he goes, oh, I go there all the time. And people don't generally go there. You might see a couple of tourists there, and that is it. So every place tightens. People arrive, they stay longer, the system gets stretched, then rules start to be enforced more stringently. Because Thailand is not unique in the world of all the countries. It's not that unique. And it's come a little bit late to the party. Yeah, things are different now. It's not. Let me tell you something. It's nothing like it was, say, 35 years ago. It's not like it was. Back 32, 33 years ago, it was very easy to. You can get a tourist visa. You could stay for up to 15 months with the extension. Then you get another one. Then you get another one. Then you get another one. And nobody cared. But that was back then because they didn't have 40 million or 35 million tourists. And okay, well, shit. Vietnam has scams, so does Thailand. That's how I look at it. Everywhere has scams. But you know what? You're the one who releases the money from your wallet. You're the one who says, here you go. However that money gets to them, you are the one who allows that to happen. So if you just tell yourself, I'm not giving money for anything. Sorry, no. You don't get scammed. I mean, I don't get scammed in Thailand, I can tell you that. Doesn't happen. What are they going to scam me out of? Once in a while, I might pay 5 baht more, 10 baht more for something. Sometimes I'm paying less. So what I want to know, really what I really want to know is, are you guys angry? Is Thailand right or wrong? What is correct? Tightening things up? Do you think they really need you? Do you think they really need you to come here as a tourist? If you're a tourist? That's what I want to know. Because things have changed in 30-something years, believe me. And, you know, like, would I not go to Vietnam? Because, oh, there's too many scams. No. I've been all over Vietnam. Would I not go to the Philippines? No. Not go to Laos? No. Not go to Indonesia? No. Been to all of them. Now, I may not go now just because I've already been there. Been there, done that. If I wanted, I could go this year to, say, Indonesia, and in 5 years I'll go back. Okay, well, it's going to change. Of course it's going to change. That's what happens. And that's what's happening to Thailand. Thailand is changing. But I find it kind of humorous that nobody says to me, I think it's right what they're doing. I think it's wrong what they're doing. Or when I come 3-4 times a year, or I stay for 3 months out of the year. Nobody's saying anything to me. Crazy. You got all these people and nobody wants to talk about it. The landlord is not around to file a TM30 or supply him with all the necessary documents like a copy of the landlord's ID. Okay, but that's, you know, they're supposed to handle that. The landlord is supposed to handle it no matter what. Now, since you are the one renting, you should have access to that. You can have access to that if they give it to you. I used to do it through my landlord. I used to do it all the time. I don't have to do that anymore. It's much different. It's a different language, man. I mean, you know, yeah, there are some words that are the same, but, well, words that are similar. The words might be similar, but the meaning is different. Suk sabai te. You know, like, oh, mi kwam suk mai. Suk sabai te. You know, how are you? Suk sabai, suk sabai. Oh, I'm very good. You know, sabai. Okay. Sabai di mai. So when it comes to the TM30, that's something that's really, it's, first of all, I think it's a bit of a, I think it's a bit of a pain in the ass, quite frankly. They should come up with something like, when you come into the country, somehow you check in, and they know where you are. But see, that's the problem. If you go into America, they don't know exactly where you are every place you're going. Nobody can know where you are everywhere when you come into a country. If I want, I can disappear for a couple of days and nobody will find me. Now, I don't want to trip anybody up. And even trying to trip people up now, if you think about it, if you're trying to come in, let's say that you're trying to come into Thailand because you just want to lose everybody back in the United States. Well, first of all, they'll be able to find you in Thailand, especially if you have any leads that show that you're in Thailand. No, now you're in Thailand, so we just have to track you inside of Thailand. They'll find you eventually. They've already tried this many, many times with people where they're trying to disappear and things like that. And there's always, people that are leaving a digital trail. There's people that leaving a paper trail. It happens all the time. So nowadays you cannot get away if you're trying to get away. Now, back in the day, when some of you maybe weren't living here, it was much, much easier to live here. Every once in a while, something would happen. There'd be a crackdown. Oh, we're going to crack down on all the copyrighted goods. And they'd go and do a sweep on one day. Everybody would have a heads up. They'd feed somebody, they'd feed somebody to the police. They would get busted. Oh, yes. Oh, I have to go to jail. And then, a couple days later, they're out. Nobody knows about it. It's quiet. They made a payoff. Boom, that's the end of it. But nothing stays the same forever. Things change. You want certain changes made? Well, then you have to make certain changes in order to get those changes made. I mean, it's very simple. So if you want to stay somewhere long term, you got to build your life around it properly, legally. Because if you do it illegally, especially nowadays, where am I gonna go somewhere and be illegal or technically doing things illegally and be able to make a large sum of money or a fair sum of money and get my money and no one's gonna know and I'm gonna remain hidden and I'm gonna be out in the wilderness living off of next to nothing. If they want to find you, they will find you. It doesn't matter about the loopholes or whatever patterns or whatever it may be, your little temporary setup, your invisible set. It doesn't matter. They'll catch you. They will find you. You will have to abide by the law or they will bust you. I mean, really. What are you going to do? You think Thailand will implement a digital surveillance like Palantir in the United States? They already have a large digital presence here that people don't even think about. And, I mean, look, now think about something. Next month, in about 3 weeks, Wise rolls out their QR code for Thailand. So if you have money that comes from the U.S., and then you put it in, you transfer the money. You move the money from your U.S. account. Let's say you have $10,000, and you move it all to your Thai account. You get 33 to the bottom. So now you have 330,000. It's right in your account. Now, obviously, you need a little bit of cash. Let's say you move a little bit of cash over here. You move 10,000 baht in cash and leave the rest in there. You can pay for everything with a QR code, but do you think they don't know where the money's going and what's going on with the money. They know exactly what's going on. And that's the thing. You can't get around it. And, you know, I think for the most part, the U.S. has got everything. Man, there are things going on that if the U.S. that people don't even know about that's going on in the U.S. That's what I think. I think the same thing's going on here in Thailand. You think they don't share with other countries? Something's going on. There are things going on here. And quite frankly, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Fight it? You're going to fight everything? You can't. Now, if you were to, say, receive a payment from somebody, and you were to say receive, let's just say you receive €1,000,000. You put it in a safety deposit box. Nobody sees it. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows about it. Only the two people that touch the money know about it. Someone might know that that person has money, but they don't know what he did with it. But he touched you with it. Now it's you and him. You put the money in the safety deposit box. Everything is safe, right? You go out, you take out €1,000 a month, and that's what you spend. If they wanted to catch you, they could, but is the chance great that they will? Probably not. Maybe. And that's the thing. You never know. This is not like the Old West or, you know, hundreds of years ago where you went somewhere and people they just didn't know. You were supposed to have some kind of a voucher when you went somewhere, and they could read it and they would say, oh, so-and-so from this, and that could be counterfeit. So, you know, there you go. Hey, I'm going to say one more time before the stream ends in a little bit. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and click thumbs up. Now, we've had about 40 people here, and I got 17 thumbs up. That's not enough. And also, if you want, you can hit the join button, become a member of the VIP section here, or you can just use the super chat, or you can go down below in the description, and there are a whole bunch of ways where you can watch, you can follow, you can cough up the cash, you can do whatever you want. It's all up to you. I don't know why all these people keep bitching. Frankly, I wish the blue states in the U.S. would enforce our immigration and tourist laws. When I go to Thailand, out of respect for the Thai people, I know what I need to do when I come over there and don't break their laws. Yeah, if you were only spending €1,000 a month, you would get away with it forever. No one cares about €1,000 a month. Well, you think that, but if somebody decided to take an interest in you, you'd be fucked. They would catch you. We're retired to Thailand. How you doing? And I saw somebody bitching about Hua Hin the other day. Listen, you know, Hua Hin it is what it is, and I think it's fine. I've been to Hua Hin 30-something years ago. I've been to Prachuap, and they were much different 30, 35 years ago. There were not many foreigners. So they were much different. And that's the only thing is I know they were different. They are not like they are now. But it doesn't mean that they're not decent places to live. Now, 10K per month is a whole nother story. If somebody wants to catch you, they're going to catch you. Wuhan is like Popeye. I am what I want. Wait a minute. Isn't every city kind of like that? I mean, Pattaya is the same way. I am what I am. That's it. Pattaya is what it is. Chiang Mai is what it is. Oh, I don't like the burning season. Well, then you don't have to live here during the burning season. I don't like Bangkok. It's too loud and obnoxious. Well, then don't live here. Somewhere else. Go somewhere else. You know. And by the way, our chickens came yesterday. We now have our chickens. And we're supposedly going to get another 100. I don't know. I thought we were going to get 200. We got 100. Now we're going to get another 100. But I think we need to just kind of give it a little while and see how they do. Which, that this may be something that it may last us for our family's lives. I mean, like Nicholas and Alex probably aren't going to get anything out of the farm, or at least not much. Maybe they just have a place to stay. But my wife, myself, the sister rather, and then maybe some of the extended family, it may support everybody for the rest of our lives, which is a good thing. So we'll see. Anyway, let me get back to this here. Thailand is not closing its doors. It's becoming more aware of who is here and how they're here and what they're doing and if they're visiting. And if you are visiting generally, you should be fine. If you're staying short term, you should be fine. But if you've built a long-term life here on a platform that is temporary at best, then this is where things are changing, and this is what's going to be difficult for people, and whether they like it or not. And I'm only sitting here because I'm not one of them. But I was in the very beginning. I did just come here, and for a couple of years, I was just here. I was a part-timer who lived here full time. But that was when it was okay. That was when it was allowed to. I was allowed to do that. Now people are not allowed to do that. Just maybe more your speed be it versus who it in. And I mean, if you had to be in one or the other, I know neither is a high choice. No, it's not a high choice. I don't want to live on that side of the peninsula. I don't want to live there. I don't like that. I don't like the water. I don't like the area. I don't like the beaches as much. I just don't like it as much. And I have the option, and it's the option of being picky. I can be picky if I want. Some people don't have that. Some people, they go to a beach and they go, "Oh my God, this beach is great." Listen, I went to a beach in Florida. I don't remember the name of it, but I went to a beach in Florida, and it was okay. But man, there was a lot of people. The ocean was rough. The water was definitely nowhere near clear. And I was like, and my mother, was like, "I know this doesn't compare to Thailand." And I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't. She's been here. She knows." And that's the thing. I know where the good spots are. I know where some of the good spots are. So those are the places that I'm looking for. But this is the thing. The changes that are taking place, most of them are for tourists. Some of them may be for expats, but the ones that are being made for expats, they're not that big of a deal. Really. I mean, I haven't had a problem in Thailand with regards to my immigration status. It's been, oh my God, I don't even know how long now. It's probably been 28 years. I haven't had any problem at all. I hadn't had to worry. I haven't had to do a visa run. There hasn't been any of that. It's just, okay, that's it. You're here. Texas, we call chicken snake food. Doesn't matter how careful you are, they'll find a way. Well, that's true. We are working on that. That's something we're working on. We live in Hua Hin and love it here. We're not bar party people. Really, we like the relaxed atmosphere here. If you want to party, you can, but it's not our deal. We're on long-term leases. Well, as you should be. And, that's a reason to be relaxed. When you got to worry about, oh, I've got to leave the country in 60 days, it's tough to be relaxed. When you're like, supposedly, you have an apartment and you live here and you think you're living here, and I'm going to have to go out of the country at the end of this 60 days. That's not relaxing at all. An hour from the beach in California, I went to a beach in Florida. It was just sad, and I'm not even a beach person. It's useful for beating the heat. That's it. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Florida, and I grew up next to some decent beaches, but they weren't great. And if I wanted a great beach, I went down to the Florida Keys. I mean, I've been to some fantastic beaches in Florida in the Keys. Isla Mirada, Key Largo, Matacumbi Key. I've been in some nice places. I mean, the water is crystal clear. I mean, it's fantastic. But it is very expensive there. And, if an apartment here costs $500, it might cost $3,000 there. I will never go back to California. I can tell you that right now. The only reason I would ever go back, and I would be going through California, is if I just had to stop in LA on a flight on a layover. But I will never, ever go back in the country and live there again or move there or something. Never. Never. I would rather go to Ecuador. I mean, like, I wouldn't even contemplate. I'd rather go to Albania than go to California. There's no one, nowhere else on the planet. Well, there are many other places on the planet that I will go before I ever consider going to California, because that's one of the last stops. And I mean, when I went to California the first time, I went on a 3-day weekend. We left on like a Thursday night, got there like Friday morning or Friday, afternoon, stayed there, and then we left like on Sunday like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we got back at like 6 in the morning the next day. That was my first trip there, and I was like, oh my God. But that's when things were much different, and there was none of this stuff going on that is going on now, which, I don't really care about the politics, but man, like, I don't want to go there and have to be paying a certain amount of tax. I don't want to have to live that way. I don't want to have to think that way. I don't like the way that they think now. I don't care about Hollywood. I don't care. I mean, I've lived near these places. I've lived in Seal Beach and Huntington Beach. I've lived in a lot of cool places, but no more. I won't be going back ever again. And, you know, I look at my place now and I go, it's decent. It ain't the best place, you know. I don't care about it. I can get cheap land. If I want cheap land, I can find other places with cheap. I don't feel the need to go back to California. I don't feel the need to move back to the United States. I really don't feel the need to do that. Why would anybody listen? I've lived here for a long time. It's been a fantastic place to live. And if I was going to live anywhere else, I would have to think to myself, okay, where could we build a business that would work? There you go. Charlie's Chili, baby. I think that was in Newport. I don't know if it's still there, but we used to go there all the time. Oh my God. We'd go out partying and then we go to Charlie's Chili. That was a lot of fun. You know, I got a friend that lives in Laguna Niguel right now, and he's already purchased a place in Portugal, and they're just waiting for all the paperwork. They've been waiting for like 2 years to get all the paperwork squared away. Um, and you know, they're not in any big hurry to leave, but they're gonna leave, and they are going to live in Portugal. And then I think his wife has got Portuguese citizenship, and he's got British citizenship. And between that, they're going to live in Europe most of the time. They're not going to be living in the United States anymore. And this is a buddy that I grew up with in California, and we used to hang out together, party together. We used to train in the Muay Thai gym together. We used to do all kinds of stuff. Anyway, you know, yeah, I don't. For me, it's trash. And you know, I mean, like, listen, I don't have a bad life here. I got a pretty good life. You know, sometimes I think, oh, do I want to go back and do some of these hikes and kayaking and do things like this? And sometimes I think I don't want to do it. I just don't feel like doing it. You know, I've got some arthritis in my hands. It's I can tell it's getting a lot worse now. Both of these hands. And you know, little things like that. I go, well, you know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm starting to get a little older, and I have to kind of figure out what I want to do with my time. And you know, a lot of the time, I'm doing what I want with my time. Now, my wife, she's, I think she probably would like to, you know, stop working and maybe live on the farm and you know that kind of thing. I don't know. We have to figure it out, and we're still figuring it out. So, but anyway, for the people visiting, visit, enjoy yourself, have a great time. Thailand's a fantastic place to visit. There's a lot to do, a lot to see. Once you start coming here and you end up trying to live here, that's when things change. Living and visiting is much, much different. This is not the same as it was for me when I first came here or in the first, say, 5 years. In the first 5 years, you know, it was, oh my God, this is the most exotic place. It's fantastic. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh my God, I can't believe this place. And then now this is my home. And I'm very comfortable here. And I'm comfortable speaking in Thai to people. And I'm comfortable speaking, you know, to other foreigners. I'm comfortable traveling around. I'm comfortable doing everything here. Well, listen, you're not going to get any argument from me there, pal. You know, I lived in California, and it's been almost 33 years ago, and it was much different back then. And now, forget about it. And my parents live in Florida. And Florida is a much different place than California. Thank you very much. But I still won't live there. I mean, listen, there are certain reasons that I might live there temporarily, but I'm not going to live there full time. It's just not going to happen. I just don't want. Why? I mean, I'm not that kind of a person anymore. I'm not an American in the sense that I want to be an American. And go, yeah, America, yeah. That's not me. Yeah, I have two of them, and you know, Seal Beach is in the heart of where I don't want to be in California. Yeah, you're not going to get any arguments from me. I've been gone for a long time, and I plan on staying gone. And if I wasn't here, I'd be in Ecuador. I don't know where I would be. I would be maybe I'd be in Italy or Greece or Malta or Sardinia or somewhere like that. I don't know. Ecuador, like I said, Portugal, and Portugal. I don't think now Portugal is the best place now. Um, yeah, I don't worry about that. See, that's the thing. I don't worry about traffic. Although when I've got to go across town and I don't feel like taking the subway, the sky train, the boat, a motorcycle, or something like that, which is a challenge in itself, and I want to take a taxi, I change my frame of reference. And no matter how long it takes, I just think, yeah, whatever. I'm because I have a driver. I have a personal driver. Now they work for Grab. They don't work for me, but they're subcontracted by me, and that's fine. And when I go home, I got my own personal driver taking me home or taking me to the market. I'm going to have to get a few things, and I've got all that set up for me, and I like that. Listen, you guys talking about the U.S. I don't want to be anywhere near there. And it's not going to happen. The only place that I might be is somewhere in the Keys, and I don't know that that would suffice for me because of the cost of living would be outrageous compared to here. And the lifestyle is not the same. The people aren't the same. I like Thai people. They're very mellow. They don't bother me. For the most part, they don't bother me. I mean, sometimes you get some guy who's irritating, or some little kid who's running around screaming at the top of his lungs, something like that. But in the U.S., forget about it, man. I mean, there's people I don't like all over the place for whatever reason. Why would I feel at home with ladyboys? Do tell. I got a wife. My wife and I are close. That's all I'll say. I don't need a ladyboy to fill out my lifestyle, complete me. Oh well, that's another thing. Yeah. I'm not in. I remember going home once, and we went to uh, we went to the grocery store, and I've told the story before, but like we went to the grocery store, and there was nobody at the butcher, and we're like, where's you know the butcher or whatever, the assistant, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, this lady comes up and she goes, no habla, no habla. And my mother was like, oh. She goes, just wait a minute. She's going in the back. She's going to get somebody who speaks English. And I go, she works here and she doesn't even speak English. And my mother goes, shh, don't say anything about that. And I'm like, why can't I say anything? She goes, no, don't say anything about that, believe me. Don't say anything. And I said, okay, fine. And I didn't say anything. And then we laughed, and I was like, what? Why doesn't she speak English? She needs to learn how to speak English. You know. So, that's what I got. Crazy. Anyway. If you're smart, you'll come to Thailand and you'll live like a Thai, but with uh, American, with some American standards, which is what I do. You know, we've got every freaking appliance that you could use. We got all kinds of Western food. I like Thai food. I like Western food, but for the most part, I like the Western food because I'm cooking and I get to make everything myself. It wouldn't be a change of scenery, is what I mean. Not that you're into ladyboys per capita. I don't know about that. I don't care about them. Jesus Christ. I don't care about them. I mean, like every once in a while I walk by and I go, eh. And every once in a while I walk by and I just go, I don't care. I got a wife. I don't look at women or pseudo women, whatever you want to call them. I don't look at them and go, oh, wow, man. Oh, that was really beautiful. That's a lady boy. I don't do that. I mean, come on. That is so crazy that people think about it. Now, it's a different thing if you're like actively going out into the bars that are ladyboy bars. Now, that's a different story. But I don't do that. So, what does it matter? I don't think it matters. Unbelievable. This is what we hear when we start talking about Thailand. I hear all the time about this. We only want quality tourists to patronize our weed shops, which are technically illegal. Oh, you can go to Vietnam or Cambodia, plus it's cheap. Strictly enforced 20,000 baht on arrival. Big deal. That's not that much if you're traveling. Any extension, you have to show the 20,000 baht. Big deal. What is that? That's not much money. Really, it's not much money. $1,000. You got to show $1,000 or something like that. That isn't much. Notice 30 days instead of 60 days. Reduce inappropriate behavior. No, but what it does is it does limit people that are living here full time. And that's what I don't understand that people don't understand. I don't understand that you don't understand. feel people have a lack of understanding because they think China is nothing but ladyboys, which is just complete horseshit. It's essentially the same as all trans people in America being only LA or New York City. Can we stop talking about them? It really doesn't do anything for me. I'm not part of that lifestyle. I don't live in that lifestyle. I don't care about LGBTQRS, ABCDEFG. I don't care about all that stuff. Let them do whatever they want. I don't care. Just don't make me do something I don't want to do because I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to do it. It's very simple. Yeah, well, I guess everybody wants to be close to Cuba now. Let's all go to Cuba and live a great life there. I know Cuba can be a good place, but if you want to live there, I don't think so. Okay? I'll go somewhere else. Listen, I got other places to go. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to go back to the United States. I don't want to go to Cuba. I don't want to go to a lot of places. Now, I was supposed to go to Dominican Republic. I'm not going to go. And I'm glad I'm not going to go. And I don't think my wife really wants to go. She's only going for 3 days. So, there's just a lot of other places that I would like to go. And, I'd much rather go and like be on some Greek island or an Italian island or something like that than to Puerto Rico. No, I don't want to go to. I don't care about Puerto Rico. I've been there, yes, and in fact, my niece lives there, and she's an American who learned to speak Spanish, and now she's in med school in Puerto Rico. I've been to St. Thomas. I've been to the Caymans. I've been to the Bahamas. Been to the Virgin Islands. I've been to a lot of places. It can be. Yeah, I don't care about the choice. I don't care. I don't give a flying fuck about them. I mean, honestly, I don't care. Hey, you want to be who you want to be? Up to you, buddy. Do I care about Jake Paul? No, not at all. I don't give two shits about it. It's not important to me. Hey, if my life is not made better by somebody or by something, then what do I care about it for? He doesn't make my life better. Him fighting Mike Tyson didn't do anything for me, believe me. Watching him fight doesn't do anything for me. And most people who truly know boxing, they've never even seen boxing for the most part, if they're watching it now. If they haven't watched it, say, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, they don't know what they're missing. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to be living in Puerto Rico. It's not going to happen. And I don't want it to happen. It doesn't need to happen. It never will happen. So, can you share about some of the places you've been in Thailand? What are some of the places you enjoy? Man, I've been here for more than 30 years, so I've been a lot of places. I mean, truly. I just went to Umpang not long ago. We go to Suratani all the time because we have a place down there. We have a farm now. That's down there. I mean, I've been down there in the south to Hatya. I've been to Betong. I've been to Nakhon Si Thammarat. I've been to Narathiwat. I've been to all the islands, pretty much. I've been all up through mean, I used to work as a boxing journalist, and I used to do a lot of boxing stuff for the Thais here, and I used to go all up into, Isan and everywhere else, and you know, it just that it's overdeveloped. I mean, it's a nice place, it's beautiful, but so is Krabi, but it's different. I mean, I did like Lipe, called Lipe. Um, Now, I do want to go to Satu. I haven't been to Satu, and I want to go down there, and I want to go to, there's somewhere else down there. I forget what the name of it is that I want to go there. My wife is Kanchanaburi. Yeah, I've been there many times. It's nice up there near Greek Pagoda Pass. It's funny when I had a border cop my Thai license. He kind of double took and asked if I spoke Thai. Indeed, I do. Yeah, I've been there. I've been to, what is the name? Hellfire Pass. Sanklaburi. I've been there. I've been Sanklaburi 4 or 5 times. And Sanklaburi, I went for the bare knuckle fights. Massot, I went for the bare knuckle fights. And yeah, I've been in Kanchanaburi many, many times. Yeah, because it's very easy to get there from here. Anyway, I think it's time to go. I've about had enough of today. So we will talk again soon. Sankabri is great. Oh, she's ethnic Mon. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I went down in Burma. I was all through Burma, and I went in and I came across at Phnom Ron. I went across the border there, and then I came over and went to Kanchanaburi, and I did all that. So yeah, they're supposedly building a bridge. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Who knows? They're also supposedly getting the what is it, MRT? I don't know if it's MRT or BTS. They're supposedly getting that. What's up with the plane search? That go on the back burner? No, I know where it is. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly within about a 20-mile radius where the plane is. The problem is I'm not going to be able to get in there. There's no way I'll get in. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get into that area. You can't even get into the wilderness there. It's that thick. So the chance of me getting there is pretty slim. Although just yesterday I saw a couple of papers with the tail number and everything like that for the plane that my grandfather was on. And I don't know. I need to double check with my mother because my mother has information. I got information. It doesn't matter about a guide. A guide isn't going to help you through the wilderness. When you can't even move, you're not going to be able to do that. No, well, this is for my own thing that I got going on here. Yeah, well, it would be one heck of an adventure. It's just about whether or not I could ever get to the. First of all, the plane has been declared destroyed by the military. It was declared destroyed in 1940. I think it was 1945, 44. They said it was destroyed. So that's what, 56, and that's 82 years ago. It's been destroyed. It's been in the forest. So that forest has claimed that. To be able to find that would be so difficult. I don't know that I could do it. Now, I know approximately where it was, and to get there would be quite expensive because you need permits. The permits alone probably would be about $1,000. That's just to get into Phutan. to get to Putao, from Putao, get out of Putao. Then you need another permit to get into the area that you would have to go. And it's complete with snakes and tigers. And it's not the kind of place that you want to just set off with a machete and start walking. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I need to look into it a little bit more. And I haven't completely given up. So anyway, that's really all I have. 300 feet. Well, you could be 5 feet from it and not see it. Yeah, this is a plane where my grandfather was on the plane. There were 4 people. They all got out, but my grandfather got caught in the slipstream, I guess, with his chute, and he was banging up against the plane, and then he broke free, and he went down, and I guess he was knocked out, and he's beaten up a bit, and then, he was helped by the pilot, and then there was a navigator, and somebody got captured, and it's a whole story. I need to do a video about like a proper video where I can show some stuff on film. I have to take the time and do that. And it's pretty interesting. But, it's interesting to me. Some people are like, oh, yeah, that's nice. And I mean, I've seen the plane, the type of plane that it was. I have a video of the pilot speaking in, I think it was 2000 or so, 2010. Something like that. I have the interviews. There was one interview, and they were filmed in different manners, and one of the films is better than the other, but I have that still. I still have it. So, I've looked at it, and I've used ChatGPT to go over the transcripts, and I've done all kinds of things. And so, it is interesting. And I've thought about doing a few things, and I may eventually, I could be 75 years old when I really get down to it. I don't know. We'll see. And, the other thing is that it is expensive. And, anytime you go into Myanmar and you want to go into an area where you're not supposed to go, it's expensive. Because they'll let you go if you want to pay for the fees, depending on the fees. And if you've got a guide, they will let you do that. But you've got to pay. And then you've got to pay for the transportation. And then if you're in a place and you're on like dirt roads that, we're not talking about dirt roads that are like, kind of like, country roads. No, you're talking about dirt roads that, even the dirt road I went in northern Myanmar, when I went out into this village and I was supposed to meet this guy, and then the police came and all this other stuff. That particular road was really, really hardcore. And what I'm talking about is a place where, yeah, you got a road, but like you're going about 2 miles an hour. Think about the roads in the Congo. That's kind of the same kind of road that you'd be looking at out there. So, I don't know. I think it's something like 50 kilometers or something. I don't really remember exactly how much, but it's not nearby. It's not like it's not like you're just going to jump on a truck and you're going to take the truck and drive in and, okay, we're here now. All right, we got to go, 50 feet or 100 feet, and maybe that's where the plane is. It's not like that, man. It's everywhere that I've surveilled with the satellite has been nothing but dense forest, which means you're not going to get through there. If you're walking there, you could be walking and you look up and a snake bites you on the face. That's how dense it is. You may not even be able to see in front of you. So, that's how I can describe it right now. But I do want to look at it again, and I will look at it again. I've got a folder full of notes and a couple folders online. And my mother has some information, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, these are not places like, well, if you go to this place, it's going to be this town. These are like like 3 families might be living in some bamboo huts or something, and they don't even come across people. That's the kind of place that it is. So anyway, I gotta go. But thank you very much. Hey, thank you, Jesse. Wow, you're the only person for today. I appreciate that. It's a whole lot. Oops. Give him a thumbs up. Give Jess a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, I don't know about when it comes down to, you can't chart like, I'm going to go to this town, then to this town, then to this town, and then I'll be 30 kilometers away from where the plane went down. It's nothing like that. It's like nothing but jungle, and you're not even sure where it is. So where you're going, you make one wrong move and you're completely off. And that's how it is. And my map charting skills are not fantastic. And I would have to do things with my hand to try to figure things out, because Google Maps basically shows the satellite image, but it's all jungle. So what are you going to find when there's just jungle? Maybe you'll find a snake. I don't know. Maybe you'll find a leopard. I mean, an elephant. I really don't know, And would I like to do it? Yeah. Now, physically, am I able to do it now? You're taking a chance. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I used to be able to do things like this. I don't know about now. I mean, that last walk that I did, it was hard on my foot. It was hard. And my ankle's bad now. My hands are bad. I got a few things that are screwed up. But anyway, I'll take a look at it before the next time we come on, so that I can speak a little more informed, because I haven't been keeping up with it lately. Once I figured out I'm not going to be able to go there, the chance is pretty slim. Then I haven't really worried about it. Yeah, that's almost 100 years ago. It's 80 plus years ago. They're going to go, oh yeah, my grandfather, he can barely move now. I don't know. My grandfather told me about that. It's right over here. Let me just show you. Let me lift up this tree, and the plane's going to be right here. It's not like that, man. It's a lot different than you think. And it's not like something that's going to be thrilling and exciting. Oh my God, I can't believe this. I mean, maybe if you got lucky, it might be like that. I have a drone. It's not a national park, dude. It's not an. It's not. Listen, I've flown my drone all over the place, and it's not a national park, and it's not the kind of place where the Burmese government is going to go, oh, you want to fly a drone? Okay, no problem. That's not how they are. They're not the most accommodating government, okay? If you've ever been to Burma, Myanmar. Yeah, well, the thing is that maybe the meth heads are going to be like, what are you flying that drone over ahead of us? Let's shoot that thing down, because we don't want anybody looking for our marijuana and meth and whatever else we're making here. It's a mountain range. Yes, it's in Burma. It's a mountain. It's a whole range. I can't remember the name of it. I have it written down. And it's part of another. There's 2 mountain ranges like right on top of each other, like like right next to each other. And that's what it is. Yeah, it's Burma, man. It's Burma, and they're, but what altitude are we talking? I think it's when they went down, I think it was 17,000 feet when they started going down. They started their descent. I don't know exactly where they landed, but I mean, they were coming. Let me think here. I'm trying to remember everything now. They were coming from Chabua, India, and then they were flying over Burma, or they were going to fly over Burma to China, and then they crashed in Burma. So I have to look at it again. I just don't remember everything. I'm not thinking about it that much. But anyway, I will. And the next time, probably Sunday, I might be streaming at home. I don't know. I would stream today, but they give you the 2-for-1 today, and it's hard to pass that up. So anyway, um, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys probably Sunday. Sunday and Wednesday, that's generally when the streams are. So I'll talk to you then. But I need to look at everything again. There's a lot of stuff I have to look at. So, all right. I will talk to you guys later. Take care and choke me, Jerk and my. Good luck and see you again.